What's up, guys, and welcome back to Mkob Entertainment. So, there is news that is coming in. The investigations are being done with regards to Vusumuzi Matlala, this guy, the tenderpreneur who is currently in prison right now. So, there is an article that has been released by the Times of Eswatini, one of the leading newspapers in the kingdom of Eswatini. They are saying the guy Vusumuzi is actually registered in the country's population register is Vusumuzi Dlamini, who was born in 1976. So this is something very, very shocking because this guy is South African, and how is he in an Eswatini population register? Like, what is he really doing there? So definitely one thing is clear, the walls are definitely closing in, and I'm sure himself, he never thought that this day was going to come when everything was going to be revealed like this. So this is like in contrary, to what most people thought when they were saying Vusumuzi is actually related to Malema's wife, but that is not it at all. So the real story goes like this. This guy Vusumuzi Matlala, a South African businessman, he is in possession of that Eswatini national ID, which was issued under questionable circumstances. So there was an investigation that was done, and it revealed, that he holds that Eswatini ID and is also a resident of Mochane. So the investigations, they are showing these mysterious registrations where they are saying Vusumuzi is listed as the second born son of Shongwe, but however, when going to Shongwe's record, Vusumuzi is not even there. However, the photo for Vusumuzi, it matches these images that we are all seeing online. So to obtain an Eswatini national ID, one typically requires an unabridged birth certificate, proving both for parents is Eswatini. For foreigners, there is a rigorous application process, including residency, good character, etc., etc. So this guy, from what we have right now, you can see that if like fraudulently obtained that a national ID. But one thing is really funny, like why did he want that Eswatini national ID? Was he like seeking to go and hide there at Eswatini? There seems to be something about Eswatini here that is going on, and if we were to look closely, you can see that the guys that were linked to AKA, they were arrested in Eswatini, and this guy Vusumuzi was trying to go there to Eswatini. So this is just like an observation. So you can see that there is really something, to this web. As you try to get deeper into it, and there seems to be a link, that is there. So Vusumuzi, I'm sure he knew that he was about to be arrested, or that like there are issues coming out in public, and that's when he then rushed to get that Eswatini ID and was like planning to hide in Eswatini just like those guys for AKA. So that is what we can observe, at least for now. So I actually saw something interesting, and it is that Shonim Kize, Mam Kize, he bought the team Mbabane Highlanders in Eswatini and was actually unveiled, as the club's new president. And the team was rebranded to Mbabane Highlanders AM, incorporating the initials of his son Andile Mpisane. But is there anything like that we can connect about that to Vusumuzi Matlala and those AKA guys? Maybe it's too premature to try and connect those dots, but it's something important to just put out there and take note of. So what we know, at least for now, is that Vusumuzi Matlala is a South African and not an Eswatini. So the guy is South African and had obtained an Eswatini ID like fraudulently. But however, having said that, there is a lady whose video was circulating on social media. The lady is based in Australia, and she was claiming that Vusumuzi is not South African, and he was saying there is no record of him attending school in South Africa. But the thing is that those reports are not verified. There is no, like traditional media, that is stated that Vusumuzi is not South African. So we can take what the lady said by, it's called what, a pinch of a salt, right? So the guy Vusumuzi right now, he is currently in prison, and we heard a few days ago that his phone was taken away from him, but we haven't been told like what was inside that phone. So the results of that Sunday press briefing by General Mkwanazi, it's clearly visible right now. So, in other news, Kunene has finally spoken, after the other guy who is also linked to Vusumuzi Matlala was arrested today. Kunene was found, at that residence of Katiso Molefe during Molefe's arrest. So he spoke today, and said, what, we are not friends with Katiso Molefe. But that's really questionable. How can you say you're not friends, but you were there at that house? So what had he gone there to do? So what is shocking is that this guy Katiso Molefe was out on bail a few months ago for serious crimes, and this guy Kunene, you know him, like, on what level do you know him on? So one thing seems to be clear at the moment. These are not like the last big names to be dropping in this case. There is definitely more that is going to be coming. Even Gayton McKenzie himself, he mentioned it and said, this thing is huge, this thing is big. We are not ready for what is going to be coming out of this thing. So we have to brace ourselves. So Kunene is up and down, explaining himself on why he had met with Katiso Molefe. I think he went to Newsroom Africa, and on this one he was on SABC News. The reason why he also have to even explain himself is because he is holding a public office, he is a public servant, and he has been found at a criminal's house, and he has to like wash his hands, and explain himself and say, what, my hands are clean. I had just gone there maybe to greet the guy or maybe to question him, since we are ruling in Gauteng, something like that, maybe. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.